I never used to believe in anything supernatural. Ghost stories, witchcraft, curses. I laughed them off. I was a man of the badge, a head officer in our city's police department, built on discipline, evidence, and cold hard facts. But after what I witnessed with my own men, after what I saw happen to those spoiled rich kids, I can't laugh anymore. I'm telling you this story because it has burned itself into my memory like a scar that will never heal. And maybe, just maybe, you'll believe me before it's too late. It all started with two cops under my command, Sergeant Harlan and Officer Reese. They were good on paper, arrests, citations, the kind of numbers that made a precinct look efficient. But behind those numbers was rot. They were in the pockets of the city's wealthiest families. Whenever the sons or daughters of those elites screwed up, Harlan and Reese were there to sweep the mess under the rug. And those kids. Lord, those kids were devils in designer shoes. They weren't just spoiled. They were predators wrapped in wealth. I still remember the reports, the phone calls, the broken people who came into the station begging for justice. There was the drunk driving incident. A homeless man was hit near the intersection of 5th and Main by a Maserati going 90 in a 30 zone. When the car stopped, it wasn't to help him. It was so the boy behind the wheel and his laughing friends could take selfies with the old man writhing on the ground. Please, someone help me. Relax, Grandpa. You're famous now. You're on TikTok. Hashtag speed bump challenge. When the case landed on my desk, I saw Harlan and Reese chuckling in the corner. Boss, the old guy walked away, didn't he? Just a bruise or two. Besides, the kid's father already sent a donation. New gym equipment for the department. Win-win. The old man never pressed further, probably scared. Or maybe he realized money was louder than his pain. Then there were the shoplifting sprees. Not out of need, but out of boredom. They'd waltz into boutiques, grab clothes, perfumes, watches, and dare the clerks to stop them. One young salesgirl, barely 18, once tried to block the door.
Please, you can't just take that. I'll lose my job. Then maybe you should get a better job. Daddy says poor people shouldn't touch silk anyway.
They pushed her aside and left laughing. Security called the station, and Reese picked up. I heard him on the phone. Yeah, I'll swing by. Oh, it's those kids. Don't worry, sweetheart, they were just having fun. File it under community engagement. The girl quit 2 days later, and it got darker. I had a teacher come in once, trembling, clutching photos. Her student, a 15-year-old, had been cornered in the locker room by the rich boys. They humiliated him, stripped him down, and posted videos online with captions like "future loser" and "meat market."
Please, Chief, you have to do something. This boy, he won't come back to school. He's talking about ending his life.
I wanted to help. I swear to God I did. But before I could move, Harlan swaggered in. Man, boys will be boys. Don't ruin their future over some harmless prank.
Harmless? They assaulted him.
Tell your student to toughen up. The world's cruel. Better he learns now. The teacher left shaking, muttering that we were cowards. She wasn't wrong. And then, there were the whispers. Girls in town who said the rich boys groped them at parties, threatened them to keep quiet. One even came into the station, mascara running down her cheeks.
He locked the door. He wouldn't let me leave. He said nobody would believe me because his father owns half the city.
Reese leaned against the wall, arms crossed, smirking like he'd heard the same story 100 times. Look, sweetheart, are you sure you weren't just regretting it afterward? You kids drink, you make mistakes. Don't drag good families into it. The girl slammed her hands on my desk.
Good families? He ruined me.
She left, and I never saw her again. I don't know what happened to her. That's how it always went. Their parents wrote a check. Harlan and Reese laughed, and the victims walked away broken, carrying scars nobody else would see. I turned a blind eye more than once. That's my sin in this. I thought, what's the harm? Then I met the boy who would change everything. His name was Daniel. He was 23, a delivery driver, saving money to enlist in the army. He didn't drink, didn't smoke, and worked double shifts to help his mother pay rent. The kind of young man you wish you had a whole platoon of. One night, while delivering food on his motorbike, those spoiled kids cornered him. They revved their luxury cars around him, laughing, recording, showing off for social media. And then they clipped his back wheel. Daniel went flying, his leg shattered like glass. By the time paramedics arrived, his future was gone. No more army, no more running, climbing, chasing. His dream ended on that asphalt. He did the right thing, came to us, filed a report, brought evidence, dashcam footage, bruises, even the posts those little monsters uploaded online mocking him. But Harlan and Reese, they buried it. They told him there wasn't enough proof. They made his mother cry in our lobby until she gave up. And then, when I asked them about it later, they laughed. Boss, it was an accident. Kids should have been paying attention. Besides, those families, they keep the lights on in this station. I wanted to shout at them, but I didn't. I told myself I couldn't afford to start a war with the money to lead, and so I let it pass. That was my mistake. Because that's when the supernatural came for all of us. I later learned that Daniel came from a long lineage of witches, though at the time I didn't understand what that meant. Soon, things started happening. Weeks later, the strangeness began. Small at first, but impossible to ignore. Harlan showed up at the station at 3 a.m., babbling about crimes that didn't exist. He swore he'd witnessed a bank robbery, even wrote up a full report. But the so-called robbery was actually a bakery that had been closed all day. Then Reese drove his patrol car straight into the side of the station wall. When we asked what the hell he was thinking, he stammered that something took over his hands. At first I thought drugs, stress, maybe PTSD. But then the dreams started. Both of them came to me pale and shaking, whispering that Daniel was haunting their sleep. They said they saw him limping through fire, dragging a broken leg, smiling with eyes that weren't human. That he beat them in their dreams until they woke up screaming, drenched in sweat. I didn't believe them, until it started happening to me too. One night, I dreamed I was sitting at my desk. The fluorescent lights flickered, papers scattered across the floor. Then I heard the crutch, thunk, thunk, thunk. And there was Daniel, but not the Daniel I'd seen before. His face was pale, almost glowing. His voice echoed like it came from deep underground. You let them take everything from me. You let them bury my case easily. Now you'll feel what I felt. When I woke, my chest was bruised like someone had pressed a boot into it. That was just the beginning. Daniel had powers now. I don't know how, don't ask me. But he could twist reality around the guilty. Harlan punched him in a bar once, trying to intimidate him, and broke his own jaw. Reese tried to rough him up in an alley and walked away with his ribs shattered, though Daniel hadn't laid a finger on him. If Daniel was hungry, they were hungry. If he was cold, they shivered uncontrollably. If he felt pain, it was like their bodies echoed it tenfold. I watched two hardened cops crumble like children. Reese forgot his wedding anniversary 3 times in a row. His wife left him. Harlan started losing entire days. He'd drive to work and arrive barefoot, uniform inside out, with no memory of leaving his house. And the kids? Oh, Daniel didn't forget them. He read their minds, knew their darkest secrets. One boy crashed his brand new sports car into a tree because Daniel steered his thoughts in the wrong direction. A girl was caught stealing from her own father's safe after Daniel whispered the idea into her dreams. Another kid showed up at school covered in scratches, swearing Daniel had clawed him all night. They tried to hide behind their parents' money, but nothing could protect them. One night, I cornered Daniel outside the precinct. Son, I don't know what you are anymore, but this isn't justice. You're destroying lives. Did they care when they destroyed mine? Did you? And I had no answer. The final straw came when Harlan and Reese burst into my office, sweating, eyes bloodshot. He's in my house, Chief. He's in my head every night. I can't sleep. He made me hit my kid, Chief. I didn't want to. I swear I didn't. But he made my hands move. They begged me to save them. But how do you fight something you can't cuff, can't shoot, can't reason with? That night, both of them disappeared. Their patrol car was found at the edge of the river, empty. No bodies, just 2 sets of muddy footprints leading into the water. And Daniel? He was seen the next morning, delivering packages again, limping, smiling. The spoiled kids weren't spared either. Their parents pulled every string they could, but money means nothing when your child wakes up screaming every night, when they sabotage their own businesses, crash their own cars, ruin their own lives under Daniel's silent command. One by one, their reputations crumbled. Their parents stopped throwing money at the problem because the problem was now in their own homes. Me? I'm just here to tell the story. I used to laugh at the supernatural. Now, I flinch at every shadow because I don't know when Daniel will decide my turn has come. Maybe tonight, maybe while I sleep, maybe even now as I'm speaking these words. So if you're watching this, you on the other side of the screen, do yourself a favor. Lock your doors, respect the weak, and for God's sake, subscribe and like this video before Daniel shows up in your dreams.